Hello there, and welcome back to the Scaling Deep podcast. This is Lisa Princik. I am a business and membership strategist and here to help you figure out all the things membership, including why have one, whether it's right for your business model, what to include, how to launch it, and helping other membership business owners who already have memberships figure out how to get the right members in and keep them for the long term, how to cultivate a thriving community where people never want to leave. That is my focus. And it is Cyber Monday today, and it is just crazy because I thought Black Friday was a big deal and I thought I would get inundated with emails, but actually today has been the day. And a lot of people really stay true to the course of putting it out on the Monday and for only the Monday, whereas I've put out my Black Friday offer starting on Friday and it's running until Tuesday night, which I love because it's sort of kept me out of that one day focus of noise. Because let's face it, half of these challenges we are dealing with right now in the world is just getting noticed and having anyone even be able to see that we have an email out there and open it and read it, because there's a lot going on. And especially over a holiday weekend in the US, I was luckily did not. Being Canadian, we have our Thanksgiving early October. So I had a nice restful weekend where I got to poke around at some fun business things, had the house to myself. So I took advantage. And it must be really challenging to run that if you're actually having a big holiday weekend with family or friends. So I ran it over 5 days and it's still actually open. And I'll just going to tell you quickly what I've done, because I really just want to get more people inside my Profitable Membership Club because there's so much value in there. And I have created an open cart period of 5 days, which is the right amount of time for my offer to think about joining the Profitable Membership Club and take a look at the bonuses. So I've offered, and there's still some left, just so you know, and there's still another day to get in on this, is a free 45-minute private strategy session with me worth $375 as my big bonus, because I don't discount my club prices. And that is what's running right now. And it's awesome. And so if you want to join a community of awesome women, for the most part right now, they're all women, let's just say it, who are professionals, coaches, wellness consultants, I've got a home organizer, a pharmacist, a dating coach. We've got all kinds of really cool people in there who are experts in so many cool niches, who are really excited to grow their business with membership programs and get a little bit out of the one-on-one work and just grow movements. So if you want to join that, this is the time, because we still have lots of support inside, lots of mentorship, lots of interaction and activity and support, getting to know each other, and some great foundational tools. Whether or not you are just launching, about to launch, or you'd have a membership, there's a lot in there. It's kind of all in one program, and it's not at a ridiculously high price. So this is the time to get in. So I'm running that, and you can check that out at scalingdeep.com/club-offer. Okay, that's what's happening until Tuesday night, the 29th. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I had a whole other topic that I had done a podcast on last week, and I started watching it and I didn't love it. So I scrapped it and I thought, okay, what do I really want to talk about? And the topic of the day is actually something that's really trending. And this is what's kind of fun about the way I do my podcast, is that I literally talk about things that excite me in the moment or have come up in my group that I feel is really important to talk about. So this is an interesting topic, and it's trending on the micro membership, mini membership, or as I call it, the tiny membership. And I know a lot of people are doing them, talking about them, wondering if they should have one. And I want to just address it a little bit today. I don't want to get into a lot of it because I think it's a deeper topic. I think it's really easy for anyone to say, here's how I've done it and you should do it too. But I really think it's a big consideration. whether or not to launch something like this. And I want to go over a little bit about what is a tiny membership and do you really need one? So let's just look at this for a second, because a lot of reasons why people want to grow with a micro membership is because they want an audience builder. They want a container to keep people who find out about them into their world and communicating and participating in the topic itself, right? And we know when we have an engaged audience, we have an audience that's paying attention to what we're talking about, getting to know us, and they're more likely to ascend, like to buy other programs and to think about the topic in more detail. And, we are competing with different types of topics all the time. Like, for example, if you're growing a business, let's say you're growing a membership business and you want to grow your membership, but then you also are like, but I think I need to grow it on Pinterest. So the membership business expert like myself is also competing with the Pinterest expert. So there are a lot of things we can do, and we do need to also just get people's attention to have them figure out, should they be prioritizing this topic or this umbrella versus the micro tactic, which is like a marketing tactic like Pinterest. So we're competing with all kinds of things. We're not just competing with membership expert to membership expert or coach to coach. We're often competing with things at different levels. So we do want people to pay attention and be engaged and kind of get to know us and trust us as a guide and a leader. And if you start paying attention, which I think is super important, to how are people buying from you? When are they buying from you? And what are they done first? You'll see some really interesting things. Like, you'll start to notice what the level of engagement is before they've bought from you. And I know with my world and my membership, people who are buying from me, and it could be you, are people who've been in my world for a few months or more. They've either maybe purchased something from me that's small because they're really excited about the topic, so that was available to them. Or they heard me on something like a podcast, guesting on someone else's podcast, or found my podcast and started to sink into my content and what I had to say. And that is a really fast warm up, because they get to know you very well in a 45-minute interview and get to feel for you, because they can hear you and they're hearing you converse. And so they're getting a sense of who you are. So not as many people just show up and buy from me like cold. I just found out about you. I didn't even get a chance to get to know you and buy. They're hanging out for a little while. So a micro membership is a really good way to do that. It's a really great way to have people in your world and getting to know you and your style and your level of sophistication or knowledge on a topic, so that they can trust you and potentially buy something else from you. And so I think that's a really great way to look at it. Now, the reason why I look at this a little differently, though, too, is that just because you want to grow a membership program doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a tiny membership or micro membership, because that can be tricky. That can be tricky to be actually wanting to sell something for $50 a month or $100 a month, and also be positioning against or with another program or membership that is like, say, $7, $5, $7, $12, $15. I kind of like to think of a micro membership as under $20 and per month, and probably for a B2C, like business to consumer, even a little bit lower, like maybe under $15 a month. And that can be tricky to sell that and something that's $50 or that's not $100. So that's something to consider, that a micro membership is an audience builder, and it's not necessarily a membership that's going to be profitable in itself. So if you're super passionate about growing your business with a membership and delivering a lot of value, you want to make sure that if you want to do that and use a micro membership to grow that, then your pricing needs to be quite differentiated, because it'll just be too unclear and you know the expression, if you confuse, you lose. You don't want any confusion when people are buying from you, what they're getting, and having them to make too many choices that are confusing. And that's also not going to be efficient because a micro membership is a very low cost offer and the profit margins are going to be very slim. And in some cases, if they're growing in a huge amount of volume, if you just got loads and loads of people finding you because you've got great visibility, then that's an excellent natural next step if it's like it doesn't cost you anything to get people in. So if, for example, if you have a podcast or a social channel where you're getting a lot of traffic and a lot of people hearing about you on a regular basis. And I don't mean a warm crowd that have known you for a while, but you're continuing to get more and more people finding out about you. And you're thinking that this is way more interesting to you in terms of how you build the relationship with them. It's where you kind of want to post. Maybe you like doing that more than you like sending out a lot of emails to your list. You can drive a lot of people towards that kind of product, which is ongoing and isn't just a one-off, like, which is similar to a tripwire that's low cost or a small digital product that people might buy from you right away in order to get to know you, because having that ascension is really helpful. Having people come into your world and buy something from you is always a good thing to try to do, because then they will be more likely to consume the thing than they will a freebie, a free checklist or template or something like, or training. So that is a really beneficial way for people to get to know you, is to make a purchase right away, because they're going to want to at least look at it. And I think there's a lot of times where unless the template or checklist is like really clear bite-sized thing, they're just burning on this topic and no one else is talking about it, which is a different lucky position to be in. They're not going to look at it as easily if it's long, and a small product means that, well, they're going to assume it's better organized, it's more efficient, it's more to the point, it's going to really give the juicy stuff, and it isn't just going to upsell something else. Because yes, you can upsell with a micro membership, just like a small digital product, but you also are going to give value for the sale. All right. So that's one of the considerations. So I'm not talking about the details. Like, I'm going to actually create a small digital product, likely, stay tuned, that is going to explain a little bit further. Like, I'm going to develop some training on how to do a tiny membership, what to include, how to make sure it's going to meet all your goals and needs. But I think right now I just wanted to set up that foundation for understanding, is it really just the latest trend and how people are delivering value, or is it really going to be valuable to your business? And that's where I want to kind of just get you thinking here, because it might be difficult to keep the momentum going if you don't already have a bunch of people who would jump into it, or if you don't have a good visibility plan for it. Because while you're spending all this time and energy driving people to a $10 membership, $5 membership, you could be spending all this time driving people to the sale to something that is worth a lot more and that you're more excited to deliver. And if you don't already have like a larger list of people that you can say, okay, well, I have, 4,000 people on my list, and perhaps 10% would join a $10 membership, then at least you have a $4,000 a month recurring revenue. You've got something to play with. You're not feeling like, wow, I'm delivering so much value to 50 people at $10 a month, which is $500 a month. Whereas that's not going to last for long unless those people are quickly buying something else from you, or you're quickly adding to that list of people in that group. And that is a lot of effort to be driving a lot of traffic into something that's really low price. So that's one of the things you just want to keep in mind, is that do you have the ability to launch this thing now, be able to maintain it and manage it? And is it going to be expensive to do that? Because if you are thinking of driving traffic from ads or whatever else to that, and it's going to cost you just as much to get each sale as you are, then it could be not profitable at all, which is perfectly fine if you're able to then really figure out your sales system and your ascension plan to get people into the programs that you really, really want to give value and that you're going to create transformation in. Because, you know, a tiny membership is a tool. It is a way for somebody to get a bite-sized bit of value, and it definitely isn't going to be the place where they get the big transformation. And that is my final last piece of caution on it is, are you going to be tempted to give way too much away in this program where you could be actually charging a lot more for this value because you're going to not be able to resist putting all of your value in one place? And there are ways to bring that down and to keep it really crystal clear, to make the value irresistible without it being too much. And I'm going to teach you how to do this inside my small course on this. But in the meantime, just really think about that. Is that going to be difficult for you? Are you going to take what should be worth $200 a month, and instead of charging, too little, which maybe you're thinking, oh, I'll charge $67 a month. And then now you're like, wow, I'm going to do a tiny membership and charge even less. And I just want you to be super cautious about that. So I'm going to leave it there because I know that I could give tons of information on this about how to structure it, what to include, what to price, and how to keep it really tight, and also how to sell it without spending a lot of your time, money, and energy selling it. And I'm going to do that inside my tiny membership toolkit, which will probably be out by the end of the year. So get on my list, stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, if you're raring to go and you really want to do this, I can help you figure this out inside the Profitable Membership Club. We also can address any membership of any size and type and price point. But you can also just jump on my list, and I will put this out in the next month or so, and you'll be able to hop in and grab the trainings on that so you can figure it all out and feel confident that you're going to put your best effort forward without all your effort to getting this up and running and growing your audience. Because I don't want you to think that I don't think this is a good idea, but I also just don't think this is necessarily the miracle cure for making tons of profit every month and growing your business like wildfire. There still needs to be some pieces in place, and you still need to think it through. And that's really important to me is I know it's good to try things, but this isn't just a try thing. This is once you start selling it, and if you get 20, 50, 100, 200 people in it, you're going to be delivering for a while. I mean, yes, you can shut it down, but it would be better if you actually wanted to keep it going. And if you actually felt like keeping it going was going to add a lot of value to your business and not just feel like it's detracting from your really important priorities and also sucking the life out of you. Because different than a digital product, you can either sell it or not sell it, but you once you've created it, it's there, people can access it, and you don't have to keep maintaining it like you would in a month-to-month delivery. So those are just really important considerations. I hope this was helpful for you. I cannot wait to see you inside the Profitable Membership Club. If you're thinking of joining, now is the time. This is the absolute best bonus you'll ever see until maybe next year, Black Friday, because I don't offer things like this very often, and the time is right to get in now. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.